Welcome students to Kavish IAS and WBCS, converting possibilities into reality. I am your anthropology mentor, and from today onwards, we are going to have an exclusive anthropology optional journey for both IAS and WBCS only on the YouTube channel of Kavish IAS and WBCS. So I welcome you all to have the anthropology optional journey ahead. Today we are going to discuss about the common overlapping topics, that is the topics which are common for anthropology optional for both IAS and WBCS. In this video, we will be discussing only the overlapping topics for both the civil service examination. Apart from these topics, there are other remnant topics also which are non-overlapping, that is not common for IAS and WBCS. Those topics will also be discussed in some of the upcoming videos, don't worry. So in today's video, in a very short span of time, we are going to discuss about the syllabus of Anthro Optional only on the common and overlapping topics or overlapping modules for both IAS and WBCS. So let's start. For both IAS and WBCS, for anthropology optional, better to say for any optional papers, we need to have two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So currently we are discussing about anthropology optional. So let's come back there. For anthro optional, you will be having two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. For IAS, it will be 250 marks for each paper, while for WBCS, the marks will be 200 for each paper. So 250 marks for UPSC each paper, while 200 marks for each paper in WBCS. So paper 1 250 and paper 2 250. 250 plus 250 500 for UPSC and 200 plus 200 for paper 1 and paper 2 for WBCS, respectively for Anthro Optional. Now let's go into the deep detailed overview of the topics. In this video, we are just going to have an overview about the first part of the syllabus, that is common for IAS and WBCS. We will be having overview today, but I assure you we are going to have detailed discussion on individual chapters separately on some of the upcoming videos. Before getting into a deep detailed discussion, it is very important for us to know about the subject, the name of the subject, the etymology of the subject, and from where it actually came or its origin. So the word anthropology is actually derived from two words called anthropos plus logos. I assure you all these informations, all these individual segregated topics will be again discussed in minute details in some of the upcoming videos which is going to come very soon. Today we are just having an overview. Again, I'm telling just an overview, and just since it is a beginning, that's why I'm just giving an idea about the origin of the subject and especially the meaning of the subject. So the word anthropology is derived from anthropos and logos, two ancient Greek words on which the word anthropos means human, while logos means logic, and together it is called logos is equals to logic or study. So if we join together, that is anthropos plus logos, that is human plus study or logic, that is the study of human. So from here we can definitely say we can have an idea about the exact meaning of anthropology, that is nothing but actually called the study of human being or study of man. Where anthropos means human or man and logos means logic or study. Henceforth, anthropology means the study of man. So we can have a clear idea that in this subject what actually we are going to study about, that is the entire study of man, starting from his social part, biological part, man's origin, how man originated, man's physical condition, mental condition, their psychological thought procedure, cognitive, economic, financial, educational, all the aspects have been included in this one subject. Now let's come to the divisions or branches of anthropology. Before that, let's see what are the overlapping topics. So the first overlapping topic for IAS and WBCS Anthropology Optional is Introducing Anthropology, Meaning and Scope of Anthropology and the Major Branches. There's branches, scope and relevance. So in the branches part, we have the major 4 branches. That is the social cultural anthropology. Along with that, we have the biological anthropology, archaeological anthropology and linguistic anthropology. Now, these are the 4 major branches of anthropology. But for our anthro optional syllabus for both IAS and WBCS, we need to study the classifications and further deep details only for archaeology, cultural anthropology and biological anthropology. Linguistic anthropology, this part we will study only as a topic, but archaeology, social or cultural anthropology and physical or biological anthropology will be studied in deep details classification. Rather, the entire syllabus for anthro optional for WBCS and IAS constitutes only these 3 parts. Majorly cultural and social and biological. Archaeology is relatively minute in comparison to cultural and biological part. So linguistic part, we are just going to have an overview as a topic, while biological, cultural and archaeological part we will be studying in deep detailed branch formation. Well, so in the biological anthropology part, we actually study about the biological or physical evolution of man. We all know that we all human beings evolved from monkey or apes. Now, who is monkey and who is an ape, differences between monkey and ape, all these things will be discussed in details, guys. Please don't worry. Everything will be displayed to you and I assure you then it will be absolutely transparent like water. So in biological anthropological part, we discuss about how human beings evolved from their ancestral forms. While in cultural or social anthropology, we actually study about how human beings evolved their social behavior, their cultural pattern, their cultural behavior, cultural practices from their ancestral forms. While archaeology helps us to study the past societies. So, in one accumulative way, we can say this archaeological part, cultural part and biological part accumulatively are going to give us a brief idea about the evolution of human beings. Moving to the next overlapping topic, that is human evolution and hominization process. So first of all, we have the theories of organic evolution, human evolution and emergence of man. Quite essential, we need to study how man evolved, the exact phase, scenario and background about the emergence of man, under which we have majorly 3 main theories, which are biological and cultural factors in human evolution, that is while man underwent evolution, what were the exact factors that affected the evolution? Definitely evolution didn't happen in one generation or in 5 years. It took million and million of years, million of generations also. But what are the factors which affected the evolution? That we need to have a brief idea on. Next, theories of organic evolution, pre-Darwinian concepts, and along with that we have post-Darwinian concept as well. So students who had biology in class 11 and 12 are definitely going to get benefited a lot. Please don't worry guys. If you think that, oh no, I had science but I didn't have biology, I had computer, oh no, I'm from humanities, oh no, I'm from commerce. Don't worry, don't worry. All of us will have some or the other benefit in this subject, because anthropology is such a subject which is interlinked with all the other subjects, and which are going to about which we are going to know very soon in some of the upcoming 2-3 videos, that how anthropology is interlinked with other subdisciplines or other subdisciplinary subjects, how other subjects get its derivation or origin from anthropology. So once you get to know all these things, you will think, oh my god, thank god I read this subject, that's why I'm getting benefit in anthropology optional. So don't worry, I'm here to solve out all the problems that you guys are going to face. Okay, let's come back here. So here we have the theories of organic evolution, pre-Darwinian, Darwinian and post-Darwinian. So I hope we all remember about the Darwinian and Lamarckian concepts, especially regarding the giraffe, and there has been stated 2 special theories, that is the struggle for existence and survival of fittest. So all these theories are accumulatively coming under organic evolution. Next we have the synthetic theory of evolution. Here what we actually need to know is the synthetic theory, that is the mixture of the concepts of Darwinian evolution and Mendelian genetics. Now see, evolution doesn't only mean the physical changes, that human originated from ape, their body structure changed, hair growth changed, hair pattern changed, their spinal cord structure changed, it's fine. But what about the genotypic part? What about the internal part, right? Let's give an example. Here we can see clearly. Don't think that you are looking at your mirror images with your friends. Just kidding. So here are some of the pictures of primates. Let's see. We can find out some clear differences. How? See. The face structure is changing quite prominently. Hair pattern is changing. Most importantly, body structure. See, the body structure. This body structure and this erect body structure is changing. Direction of fingers changing. Most importantly, how much legs they can fold. See, this part, folding of legs. Style of walking. More or less you can find out some of the vivid physical differences currently in this slide. But I assure you there are a lot of differences, a lot of evolutionary changes that actually occurred, and that is actually a huge part that we need to study. Along with the physical or the phenotypic changes, we give them 2 names, that is phenotypic, which are the external part, and genotypic, which are the internal part or internal changes. So phenotypic changes are all those which are related to the definitely Darwinian evolution concept, while Mendelian genetics is concerned with the genotypic evolution. Henceforth we can see that the word synthetic theory is basically it merges the concept of Darwinian evolution with Mendelian genetics that results in a unified theory of evolution, that is both phenotypic and genotypic pattern of evolution in human beings. Next we have the concept of evolutionary biology, that is skeletal changes, skull, vertebral column, pelvic girdle and hind limb. So basically here, as I was giving an example, we can see how the spinal cord structure changed, or body stature and height changed, skeletal framework changed. All this internal skeletal part is called osteology. What it is called? Osteology. Don't worry, we'll have very detailed discussion in some of the upcoming videos. This is just an overview I'm talking about. So all the evolutionary changes related to the bone of human being from ape is under the skeletal changes or skeletal evolution. Along with that, they also undergo certain skeletal framework changes, especially facial changes. Did you see your mirror image? Oh no, don't worry, we all can see our mirror images. Just kidding. I hope you are definitely pretty, just like this primates. Well, these are some of the primates. Now you must be worrying, what is the word that I just told? Primate. Primates. Now what's a primate? Primate is basically certain forms. When the human being is evolving from the earliest form of monkey or ape, they need to evolve, they need to undergo certain forms. Each of these forms are called primates. This is the general meaning. Apart from that, if you want to know the biological meaning or the intact definition, it is the most matured and advanced and complex eutherian mammals. We have a very detailed discussion syllabus on the primatology, that is a study of primates. So while we go there, we will have a detailed discussion on primates. So I am showing here how the facial changes have occurred. See, in due course of time, how the face of different primates changed into the modern human. So all these parts we are going to study under anthropology. Isn't it interesting? I feel it quite interesting. Next, we have the characteristics of primates. Primate classification, features and distribution of New World monkey, Old World monkey, and apart from that we have the Asian and African apes. So basically these four type of monkey and apes we need to study: New World monkey, Old World monkey, Asian and African apes only. Alright. Next we have the distribution characteristics and the phylogenetic status. That is, here we have Australopithecus africanus, Homo erectus, Neanderthal man and modern Homo sapiens. All these parts are nothing but primates again. Primate. So basically we have to study these four major primate, their phylogenetic status, from where they originated, their taxonomy, their exact gender, order and species, and apart from that we have the four monkey types that we need to know about their distribution and features, that is the New World monkey, Old World monkey, Asian and African apes. Now we are going to come absolutely into the minute detail of the biological part. Previously, which I was discussing, definitely all these were the part of the biological anthropology, and now it is the core biological anthropology, where we are going to have a detailed discussion on human genetics. Here we have twin study, DNA structure and replication, protein synthesis, cell division, and chromosome and chromosomal aberrations in man, that is the chromosomal abnormality and what it can lead to. Sorry. So basically this part deals with the genotypic, absolute genotypic part of human beings. How gene plays a huge role in evolution. All this part are being studied in details in the human genetics part. So students having biology in class 11 and 12 are definitely going to get a very huge benefit, just because we will be repeating our knowledge of class 12 along with some extra additional points, highlighting points better to say, and others, don't worry, we had read about cell division in class 10. So whatever idea we had about cell division in class 10, we will be continuing that along with some extra addition, and then we can make up definitely quite well. So don't worry, students having bio in class 11 and 12 and students not having bio in class 11 and 12, both of you, don't worry, it's going to be very, very easy and interesting, I assure you that. Next we have human variation. Now what's human variation? It is the basic concept of race or racism. Now what is racism? You might think, oh my god, she is talking about racism, that's very bad, that's quite stereotypic, you're talking about black skin. Oh no. Here we actually study, now I just told two words, that is black skin. Now the question is, why black skin? Why not green skin? Why not blue skin? We have blue eyeball. Why not blue skin? Now this question answers are actually being received in the racism part of anthropology. Here racism is the belief that groups of humans possesses different behavioral traits corresponding to inherited attributes and can be divided based on the superiority of one race over another. That is, basically any person or from a community or any community will have or might have certain behavioral traits which will be actually carried, or better to say, which the community will receive due to the geographic distribution. Not necessarily only geographic distribution, but definitely distribution of the community in the area. Now see, here I have shown an example. People belonging to this areas, what skin color or skin tone do they have? Blackest, relatively fair. Now here we get the answers why people of this and this area or people residing on this and this area of the continent have black skin, and why people of this and this area have quite clear fair skin. So this is how we can differentiate about the human variation of skin tone. We are not actually provoking, we are not actually supporting to humiliate people or human being with black skin color, but we are trying to find out why it is happening and how much variety of skin color, skin texture, hair texture, color combination we can find in our environment and also outside our area. So basically in the concept of race and racism, we are going to study about the variety that has been clearly depicted in human beings. Next, we have human growth and nutrition, a very, very easy part and definitely one of the most easiest and you can say a quite theoretical part. Firstly, here we have the concept of human growth, that is the stages of growth: prenatal growth, postnatal growth and adolescent growth. The word natal means pregnancy. Let's write down first. The word natal means pregnancy. So here, while a woman is giving birth to a baby, what exact growth the baby is having, I'm not talking about zygote. I'm not talking about zygote. No, zygote is the first, well, it's E together with zygote. It's not zygote. Zygote is the first cell of a life. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about once it has transformed into a baby. I'm talking about that phase. What exact growth stages that baby goes through during birth, before birth, and after birth. The childhood concept we don't have. Next, we directly have adolescent part. Childhood we have in UPSC, not in WBCS. Let me remind you once more. In this video, we are discussing about the topics, about the chapters which are common, which are overlapping only for WBCS and UPSC Anthropology Optional, not the entire syllabus. Apart from these topics, the other remnant topics which are non-overlapping for WBCS and UPSC, we will definitely discuss those topics as well in some other videos. Definitely in some of the upcoming videos quite soon. Next we have factors affecting the growth and development. Genetic, environmental, nutritional and socio-economic factors. That is, when a baby is growing up, definitely a lot of factors play a huge role. So among those factors, we need to know only genetical part, environmental, nutrition and socio-economic parts only. And next we have methodology of growth study. How the human or how the baby is growing up. There are definite patterns of growing up. So those patterns, the growth curves and all those patterns, growth and developmental pattern, all those things we are going to have a detailed discussion. Now see, we are talking about growth and development. So definitely for growth, nutrition to banta hai. And nutrition ke liye, food is inalienable. So if you don't intake food, definitely तुमको nutrition नहीं मिलने वाला है. And if you are not having proper amount of nutrition, then you are not going to grow up. So human nutrition is one of the most important part and definitely the most easy part of the syllabus that now we are going to have an overview about. Sorry. So here we have the nutrition concept. See, you start intaking food and definitely you will also start having a body like Sunny Deol also. So definitely nutrition plays a huge role. Now see, what happens if you don't intake nutrition? Like we don't eat healthy foods, right? We all crave about junk food only. What if we don't do? In that case, we start falling ill or sick, and from there we start getting diseases. So from there comes the concept of health and disease. Here we have the concept of communicable and non-communicable diseases. Malaria, marasmus, kwashiorkor, these are and ricket. These four major diseases we have to have a detailed knowledge about. Apart from that, we have nutrition deficiency related diseases as well. That means if we don't intake proper amount of food in proper time, then what will happen? Then we will fall sick and definitely it will lead to a malnutrition stage and definitely it's going to be quite harmful for our body. So that's all for the first part of the video where we have discussed about some of the topics, some of the chapters of Anthropology Optional for both IAS and WBCS. And the remnant overlapping topics, don't think these are the only overlapping topics. The remnant overlapping topics are coming quite soon in the second part of the video. I hope I could make anthropology a little easier for you people. So keep on studying and follow Kavish IAS and WBCS, converting possibilities into reality. Thank you and see you soon, very soon rather, in some of the upcoming videos.